Good to see you today, Nish. Thanks for being here. Let's start it off with how did you get into drones exactly?
Yeah, okay. I got into drones because I've always been interested in like what the next big thing is, and just through my own research, it seemed like we were definitely moving into an era of drones being a mainstay in the market. And I think that any business that were to start, were to be a frontier of the drone industry, could be the next $1 billion business. So we see drones. Currently, there's a lot of venture capital money going into drones. That's like delivering, um, medication in Africa and things of that nature. There's a lot of military drones, as I'm sure you're familiar with. But what I wanted to do was create a business eventually that brought drones, the application of drones to the commonplace, almost just within the U.S. From consumer to consumer, just your average Joe. I wanted to do that. So I was looking at different businesses in that sector.
And obviously, being such a drone enthusiast, you obviously own a drone. So, what do you do with your drone? What do you use your drone for?
Well, I own a couple drones, and I'll fly them around, whatever. I'll mess around with them. But the real reason I bought the drone, at least my drone was under $1,000, and I bought my drone just to learn how to fly one, because there will be a time, very soon, where you're going to need to be just licensed to fly them because they are very dangerous. I've actually had a couple of pretty crazy encounters, with my drone, uh, catching a gust of wind and going over the highway. As you can imagine, that could be absolutely catastrophic. And I then realized how really dangerous it is. So I think that I bought one to learn how to fly, really to just get a feel, for what they were all about. And so that's why I purchased mine, and to be able to pass a licensing test.
Speaking of dangerous, actually, the FAA recently came out with new drone regulations. They seem pretty strict. What do you think about them?
Well, I think it's a step in the right direction. I think that drones should be able to be, or people should be able to profit, from used commercially used drones and in their business. And you know I like I said, we're taking a step in the right direction, but it's a little slower than I would have liked, because there's definitely businesses that I would like to be going into that are being hindered right now because of the regulation.
You mentioned drones in the marketplace, and Amazon recently in the news announced that they are going to be flying, or at least trying to fly, packages via drone directly to their customers 30 minutes or less after you purchase the item on Amazon. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think that that is the biggest marketing play they could have ever made. After a lot of research, on my own end, I found that the drone, battery life and distance, that your average drone can fly. First of all, it's very expensive to just have that many drones. Not saying Amazon doesn't have, a lot of money, but your top tier battery life for a 1,500 to $2,000 drone is no more than 20 minutes. So for them to think that they're going to be flying, these packages to and from places, that's actually going to make a big impact, unless you're truly within a city. It's I don't see that being, something that's going to be happening in the very near future. There are some, um, energy alternatives and battery pack alternatives, some pro, pro, propane or ethanol powered fuel cells are coming out, and those are excellent. But I'm actually working with an engineer right now to try and attach it to my own drone, and that would be interesting. But until that becomes part of the market, and I don't know what Amazon has up their sleeve, but right now, any DIYA or do-it-yourself drone or anything like that anywhere on the market would say that what Amazon's proposing is pretty nuts, at least in the next 3 to 5 years.
More drones in the news. A drone recently landed on the White House lawn, caused a lot of controversy and commotion, as well as drones coming close to airplanes at JFK Airport in New York. All these incidents obviously aren't very good for the drone community. So, what do you think? Has it affected you at all, or?
Yeah, no, like I said, I mean, I'm I've experienced the worst, as far as being an idiot with my drone, and I totally see as that being a problem. And as long as there's some regulations, and like I said, maybe you do need a license to fly them, no different than driving a car. I think that all those nuances can be overcome. So
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Nish. I really appreciate it.
yeah, it was really a pleasure talking to you.
Speaking to you soon.